Boston, Massachusetts checking in. It's been a long time. I know I've been posting lately, making little skits, giving shout outs and tributes. And I was listening to this music in the background. And I heard a nice quote where the guy was like, "We don't love each other, we just fuck each other." And I was like, ooh. I think it's probably, I don't know who the artist is, but I like those lyrics right there because that's so true. And in so many situations, guys, that's what we're always doing, fucking each other and not loving each other. I was like, wow, isn't that something? Then I had a guy in the back of me going like I'm a fucking cat. Meow, meow. Okay. Don't make me meow his ass. This is doing some crazy shit though, but I was like, right, weirdo. But it's always good to be aware of your surroundings. That's uno, you know what I'm saying? Uno number one. Rule number one. Rule uno. Okay? Period. I don't know. I got this old big belly. These niggas looking at me like, let me rub that. Let me rub that, baby girl. I'm like, right. Let me put some butter on this roll. You understand? I know this guy too. Hey, Shane.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, and you? I know, right?
I seen your brother the other day.
Which one?
Kima, it was a while ago.
Kenny?
Kima? Yeah, be singing.
Kruma.
Kuma, I'm calling Kima.
Kima, right. A lot of people be calling my brother. They know my brother. They be like, I know your brother. My mom's doing well. I will. Asking about mom and showing love. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? So I always leave my car door open for whatever odd reason. You know what I'm saying? I always do it. I'm about to go up in this laundromat right now and get my put my clothing in the dryer. It ain't no you can't basically be in there, but you can wash and dry, so it's all good. I'm just washing and drying, period. I got work Wednesday and Thursday, not Friday, so that's awesome. Okay, guys. So, yes, guys. R.I.P. Little Richard. I shared on my Facebook yesterday an old video I found of him where he had converted and he had become a Christian, in his last years. He was like 84, so that was 2017. He was 84 years old. He had converted to being a Christian, and he was saying, like, how a couple of people tried to get him to come back. He couldn't walk. He was in a wheelchair, but he was trying to convert all his friends in the music industry, and he was just basically like, I don't, sing that anymore. He said Jay-Z called him too, and he was like, he loved Beyonce and Jay-Z, but, he was rocking with Jesus. You feel me? So, kudos to Little Richard. I hope he get past the gate. You understand? And I shared that video on my Facebook last night so everyone could see it. Like, Tutti Frutti on Rudy. I used to hate him, guys. I could not stand him. I hated him. And come to find out, I ended up loving him, in the end. He was one of my favorite people. I actually sat down and watched his whole video. And I liked it. Excuse me, my card fell, so I had to get that. But I shared that video, and I hope people actually watched it because it's amazing. He is an amazing person towards the end of his life. And do you know what? He was darker than me. Now, we all know Little Richie. He was like light-skinned, the makeup he was wearing made him look a totally different color. But in the end, he died his truth. He died himself. You understand? He was in Tennessee. He said he lived in Tennessee. He loved living in Tennessee. So I have a friend down there. I can't think of his name. Rob D. Shout out to Rob D. You understand? So he was my friend told me he's seen him. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, really? But he ended up living there in Tennessee. That's where he had passed on. He could not walk in the end, you know. That was the last time that, you know, he went public and he said that. He was in a wheelchair and he could not walk. So, guys, it's like R.I.P. Little Richard, and also Betty Wright. She died too, and another guy too. I'm not really familiar with him, but I know some people he was associated with in some of his work. But he was the one that got the hip hop and R&B community connected. You know, in the early stages of Puffy's career, I heard he was the one that opened the door for Puffy. So he passed too. So it was like three legends, you know, from back in the days that had like, oh my gosh, do you know how much they contributed to music? I mean, the eras they were all at and in, you understand, they all represented different eras. You know, one was in the 90s. Betty Wright, I can remember hearing her like during my mom's era. So that was like, I was born in the 60s, 69, so 69, 70s, when I really began to understand music, 70s. I was like 16 when I remember when the song, what's that song? No pain, no gain, no pain. I'll be a cook in the kitchen, a lady in the streets. You can't show your teeth to every guy you meet. It's okay to be a little sweet. So that was my era. And my mom used to play that song. And then you got my mom's song, Little Richie. I hated him though, guys, truthfully. Like, he was not one of my favorite celebrities or artists. So, you know, but in the end he was. And I actually shared like his growth and development and how he died in Christ. And I hope he did in truth. Amen. So guys, I'm kind of grieving the loss of the legends. You know, I want to shout out everybody in the world because you're alive, I'm alive, and we're all going through this pandemic. And we're doing our best to cope with the reality of life. You understand? But silently at night when I pray, I cry unto God, help us, please save us, Lord. Please have mercy on our souls. Because I love life, I love living, and I love people. And I always did, and I always will. Even though one of my co-workers was telling me that this coronavirus COVID-19 was produced in a lab. But me, I'm like, no, this couldn't have been. This was a cruel act if men did this. This was a truly cruel act. Like, why would men, I just can't wrap that around my brain. Why men would, like, do this to us. Like, do you know how we're living right now? Uncertain, scared, quarantined, can't kiss our loved ones, can't hug people you love and know. Everyone's just walking on thin ice, hoping not to die, hoping not to contract this disease. And if they do, they're hoping to get through it. The nursing homes, the public transportation, how you travel today, everything, no gatherings. You have to really be deciding about the 10 most people you want to gather with today. If you have any type of event or a function, and that's on the outside, not even on the inside, because there was a time when whole families was really contracting the COVID-19. I've been following this, guys. I've been sharing. I've been following this. I've been keeping you updated with what's going on, even other professional sources, because you know I know my oral game ain't tight, but God damn it, I'm doing my best, period, okay? If you talking simple shit, 1+1 is 2, I gotcha. But anything outside of that, I do bring in the experts. You understand? And if we're gonna listen to the experts, it doesn't seem good. And then let me tell you something else too. I seen that guy. I was watching this documentary about the origination of the coronavirus, the woohoo. Yes, it is found in animals, particularly bats. And I don't know if they were, God don't cross breed. God don't mix animals and people. It's stupid. It doesn't even make sense. He would never do that. That's not anything in him. And these people went into the nucleus of life and they started meddling with some things like these proteins and chromosomes and all of this stuff. And in the beginning, when they did the first coronavirus, that was like a SARS or something like that. You gotta watch the documentary, okay? But anyways, the bat, the chromosomes and proteins and DNA of the bats did not mix with human beings. Like, God kept that separate for a reason, because maybe they were trying to figure out how come bats don't get sick. They have a healthy immune system. So maybe they was trying to figure out how come bats don't get sick. And they started messing with their DNA and chromosome. And then they tried to crossbreed it with a human. Something terrible happened inside a lab. And I didn't want to believe this, but I think it's true, guys. I don't think it's a conspiracy. One of my co-workers was telling me about this. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I don't believe in conspiracies, but this started in a lab. And he told me that China agreed to pay Italy. So I went looking for that information and I couldn't find that. So he gave me a list of things. Because I was like, I'm going to research this because I just don't believe this. I believe that it was a plague from the Lord thy God. In my true heart of hearts. That's what I believed. Okay? And it still is. Beginning and end, because he's the one who make alive and he kills, and he allowed this, but they did this. I just don't know, guys. But the bottom line is, in the beginning, the bats and the humans was not crossbred or mixing. And I don't know, in 2014 I seen that Dr. Fauci, everybody's running around loving, he was in a picture with Obama because Obama had stopped the funding of the testing. Okay, this is some real serious stuff. And why did he do that? Why did he do that? And I said, like they said, what is the purpose of that? Why are you trying to do that? You have to look up the documentary and you must go from there. That's all I'm saying, guys. But I didn't want to believe it. My coworker started saying, the guy who told me to do the research, my coworker started telling me, like, I won't let him read my children bedtime stories. So I was like, oh my gosh. I laughed. I said, Johnny, they said they're not going to his name is Johnny. I said, Johnny, they're not going to let you read their kids' bedtime stories. Johnny said, it's the truth. I was like, well, they think that it's mean, Johnny. You feel me? I got to lock my door because... So now I gotta go into this laundromat, right? And I didn't bring nothing with pockets and stuff. And that's always carry things, have like a sweatsuit with pockets. Because all this pockets not having pockets, it ain't right and it's killing me. Now I need to put some things down because I need to do some like physical task. And I can't. Well, I gotta just lay my stuff down, but whatever. It's time to go up in this damn joint. Let me take these glasses off because now it's business time. Okay, guys. Well, I know we didn't talk about anything today, really. Any gossip, because I'm really trying to get away from that. I'm still researching just some matters that I want to follow up on and update you about. Things that I talked about. Sorry guys, you know, I only got 2 damn hands. So I'm just trying to move and work some things. But I think you should check it out, guys. It's not a conspiracy. I really thought that it was. But I'm still watching the interview in depth. I recommend that you watch it too. And not only that, leave an opinion, whatever you think, comment, you know. If you think I'm off my rockers, you could tell me that too. I really don't care. It's all just about the people connection, you know, and where we have to be quarantined and we cannot touch one another, then the most we could do is say hello, okay? That would be nice. And I would like to shout out all the TikTok honeys that I shared, and babes, honeys and babes from other parts of the world who made nice videos, and I shared them on my Facebook story and platform. And I just want to say, everybody stay safe, wear your mask, buy from your local vendors, people in your neighborhood that's selling masks, and stay safe. And I hope we all make it through this. 1